The Disinformation Dozen are made up of 12 people and is said to be pushed by the U.S. government that is heard by U.S. citizens.
Briefly, before you're 6 years old, you really don't have your conscious mind developed. It's just almost 100% automatic subconscious. So you're incredibly susceptible to any danger, not danger, but any aberrations and negative influences on your health. So
I got dragged into the vaccine issue kind of kicking and screaming because I was going around the country suing coal-burning power plants and talking about the dangers of mercury coming from those plants. And almost everywhere I stopped or I spoke, there were women there, very eloquent, articulate, grounded people who were saying, look, you have to look at the biggest vector of mercury in American children now is coming from vaccines, and we need you to look at the science. And I resisted for a long time, but I started reading the science after a while.
As I interviewed veterinarians across the United States, was specifically regarding vaccines. This really blew me away because I didn't know this, but when specifically cats got the rabies vaccine, they were getting tumors at the site of the vaccine.
The CDC says they won't do it is because it's unethical, because we're withholding a known benefit treatment and it would be unethical. But here's the thing, there are tens of thousands of unvaccinated children already in this country.
You don't want to do nothing for your damn self? Okay, you're gonna keep getting shot down. You're gonna keep being discriminated against. You're gonna keep complaining. You're gonna keep picketing, rallying, doing all that. You're gonna keep crying, all that. Why? Because you're not doing nothing for your damn self. I'm not gonna keep blaming the white man, bro. I'm a little past that now. Yes, the system does exist. Don't ever get it twisted. It is there, and it is put in place to perpetuate its own survival. I get that, but I need to put something in place to perpetuate my survival.
A suppression of a medical miracle. Okay, I want you to look for that book because it's going to become a New York Times bestseller. I'll break my back if I have to make it a New York Times bestseller. The reason is because it's going to outline one of the greatest suppressions of a miracle that every person, every single person on the planet should know about. Every doctor should be weaned on this before they leave medical school, and yet it's been suppressed. So that's the second toxicity. Where are you getting exposed to this? Everywhere. You're getting exposed to this constantly. If you pick up an ingredient box of something that you're going to put into your body, something that you're going to eat, and you don't know the first three components of there, or there's three components in there that you don't know what it is, stay away from it. Just be...
They did. And they really vilified this man, calling him a quack, saying that he wasn't helping people. And I already knew so many people, especially whose children this man had helped and put into remission from autism, from cancer. And when I saw these articles coming out, especially Washington Post and Forbes and all this mainstream,
it's amazing. It's really just a gene regulatory source of information, and it really is an embodiment of intelligence when you start looking at all the vast literature showing it able to correct and sort of redifferentiate, cells that have gone rogue and become stem cell-like. So yeah, turmeric is without a doubt probably the most advanced oncology intervention that I think the literature shows.
It has really been to focus on some of the almost sensational sounding concerns that I've developed after a deep dive into the literature, which include the fact that taking an antidepressant prescription can actually change the course of your life and the lives of other people within days of your first dose. You know, I got an email the other day from a woman who wants to, you know, make her presence known to me. And she said, my husband never suffered from depression in his entire life. He was not a psychiatric patient. He was struggling with insomnia, circumstantial insomnia, and his internist prescribed him an SSRI antidepressant, and 5 weeks later he was found dead hanging in his garage.
Have you ever gone somewhere and suddenly you feel depressed or sad for no good reason? Or have you ever been sitting with someone and suddenly you just can't keep your eyes open? You feel like you're going to fall asleep in your soup?
We sat down with Ben Tapper to get his response to being named in the report.
I was shocked. I was surprised. I think it's, you know, and then it kind of turned to a lot of questions like, why was I even on that list? Why is a chiropractor in Omaha, Nebraska on that?
This fight forever, and I want to see every man in this country stand up with him. Now, I want you to do me one more favor.
Abby Martin is an American journalist and is on the board for Media Freedom Foundation. She is an outspoken journalist who has exposed the lies and corruption of transnational corporations. She did this on such platforms as Breaking the Set, where she constantly exposed transnational corporations in the U.S. greed, corruption, and lies throughout the Senate and the U.S. government. She has even landed in the hot seat of the CIA and has exposed the human rights atrocities in the Middle East.
Before we wrap up the show, I wanted to say something from my heart about the ongoing political crisis in Ukraine and Russia's military occupation of Crimea. Just because I work here for RT doesn't mean I don't have editorial independence. And I can't stress enough how strongly I am against any state intervention in a sovereign nation's affairs. What Russia did is wrong. I admittedly don't know as much as I should about Ukraine's history or the cultural dynamics of the region, but what I do know is that military intervention is never the answer. And I will not sit here and apologize or defend military aggression. Furthermore, the coverage I've seen of Ukraine has been truly disappointing from all sides of the media spectrum and rife with disinformation. Above all, my heart goes out to the Ukrainian people who are now wedged as pawns in the middle of a global power chess game. They're the real losers here. All we can do now is hope for a peaceful outcome for a terrible situation and prevent another full-blown Cold War between multiple superpowers. Until then, I'll keep telling the truth as I see it. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you back here to break the set tomorrow.
Edward Snowden is a former NSA employee and subcontractor. He leaked highly classified information from the NSA database, who have said to expose the U.S. government spying on its own citizens.
Has the Russian intelligence service, the FSB, talked to you? Of course, when I was in the airport. But if I gave you my computer, given your capabilities at a computer, couldn't you access the data that you once had but no longer have? Isn't it there on your own personal iCloud?
No. So this information that was provided to journalists, it's stored offline. I know how to keep a secret safe, and I also know when the public needs to know it.
I would have thought you might wake up at night thinking, what on earth is going to happen to me?
Julian Assange is an activist, publisher, editor, and founder of WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks came to the world attention when it leaked national documents from across the world, exposing corrupt governments across the world to transnational corporations, central banks, and commercial banks all around the world, exposing its corruption, greed, and lies.
Julian Assange's long standoff with international authorities is finally over. This is Julian Assange. He is 47. British police removed the WikiLeaks founder from Ecuador's embassy this morning. Clearly, he did not want to go. He's been inside since August 2012, hiding from a UK arrest warrant.
Assange's lawyers.
There's an early 2014 email from Hillary Clinton, so not so long after she left Secretary of State, to her campaign manager, John Podesta. That email, it states that ISIS is funded by Saudi Arabia and Qatar. The governments of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Now, this is I think this is the most significant email in the whole collection. And perhaps because Saudi and Qatari money is spread.
Minister Louis Farrakhan is the faith leader of the Nation of Islam, and Plabi noted to be the most dangerous person because of his unwavering faith in God and his rejection of the devil.
On CNN, I was questioned after I spoke in 2007 about Barack Obama. And CNN said, well, what do you think about this young man? I said, I think he's brilliant. I think he has fresh ideas. But I'm under no illusion that even if he did become president, that he could change the reality of black suffering in America. Because when you are running for something, you can say a lot of things. But when you sit in the seat and you feel the energy of electricity putting something on your backside, the forces that surround power is always the real power. President Obama does not run this country. President Obama has been chosen to govern white affairs.